Hi everyone. I wanted to try and give you my thoughts in depth about NFTs. You see, NFTs are something that really taken my attention in the last year as I've started to understand the power of what they are and what they can do. You know, we've got the protocol layer, which is the layer ones, the Bitcoin, the Ethereums, the Solanas, the Polygons, and all of these others. And they're amazing. And they facilitate the technology for the transfer of value for the internet at large and for the new digital age. And it's an incredibly important technology, not only for money, but of all digital value and digital scarcity. You see, in a digital world, you can produce infinite amounts of something, infinite amounts of JPEGs, infinite amounts of information.
Real Vision CEO and co-founder Raoul Pal believes non-fungible tokens, NFTs, will act similar to high-end property in the traditional economy, outperforming Ether. ETH during crypto market boom cycles. Pal said just as high-end property often outperforms the market when the economy recovers, the same is likely to occur with certain NFTs during crypto boom cycles. He also pointed to NFTs' uses in the resolution of contracts, noting that blockchain-based ledgers can offer verifiable transparency on what has been agreed between people, while smart contracts can essentially do away with unnecessary third parties. Before delving into his NFT journey, make sure you subscribe to our channel and enable notifications.
Right now, people think of NFTs as art or some sort of community thing, and both are amazing uses. Now, for example, in the background, I have my NFTs displayed. And NFTs are super interesting because they fulfill so many different elements of what makes Web3 Web3. Firstly, we saw, I think it was in my conversations with RAC, the award-winning music artist, he kind of taught me the power of community and how NFTs could be used for music. But then within Real Vision, we started talking to artists like Mad Dog Jones and Micah Johnson. And they were doing two different things. Mad Dog Jones was creating digital art and making it scarce. So places like DeviantArt have a community of 70 million people plus creating digital art and enjoying it, but there was no way of selling it because you couldn't create scarcity. But with a blockchain, you can make it a one of one. It's kind of like a limited edition print or a unique painting where you own it. Now, yes, you can have the image of it. You can have the image of the Mona Lisa. You don't own the Mona Lisa. In fact, more people have the image of it, the more valuable the actual original is, which is something a lot of people don't get their heads around. So artists are always innovators, and they took to the space. They started realizing that digital art was something that was a new form of art and that they could experiment with it. And along came a revolution in art. And it started with people like Beeple, incredibly putting together 5,000 pieces of digital work over a number of years, and then that being sold as one NFT in itself. And they were different NFTs, and that sold for 69 million. That took the art world by surprise, and Sotheby's and Christie's have both been involved in this as they've realized that this is a new form of art. Art has always broken boundaries, whether it was the Impressionist painters, the postmodernists, the expressionists, everybody has reinvented what art means.
Damien Hurst recently concluded his NFT project, The Currency, which aimed to investigate the interaction between art and Web3. The project left collectors with a choice between burning the NFT to receive a physical artwork and burning the physical artwork to retain ownership of the digital asset. Collectors were split nearly 50-50ths in their decision, resulting in Hurst having to burn almost 5,000 physical artworks, including 1,000 of his own pieces. Hurst chose to burn all of his physical works and keep them as NFTs. Raoul Pal expressed his admiration for Damien Hurst, considering him to be culturally significant and one of the most expensive living artists in history due to his prolific and groundbreaking work. Pal also noted that Hurst's recent project, which allowed collectors to choose between keeping the NFT and destroying the physical artwork or vice versa, was a complex mix of game theory, the future and history of art, psychology, investing, and community. Let's hear his thoughts on Damien Hurst's NFTs.
NFTs. Then you get the choice. Do you want to burn the NFT or burn the piece of art? So now here's the Damien trying to figure out okay, what's more valuable in this world, physical art or digital art? Or are they thought of as the same thing? Amazing experiment from one of the world's greatest living artists. And what happens was quite surprising, is 50% of people kept one or the other. I kept the NFT, obviously, but other people burnt the NFT and put up the Damien Hurst on their wall. And they both still trade for about the same amount of money. So humans are pricing NFTs like they would art, which is why Beeple traded for 69 million and other art trades for millions and other art trades for very little. It's very similar.
The concept of Web3 has gained popularity as a term used to describe a more user-centric and decentralized vision for the internet. This new version of the web aims to give users ownership of their data and control over their online presence through the use of blockchains, cryptocurrencies, and NFTs. Raoul Pal has expressed his belief that the community aspect of Web3 is revolutionary for marketers because they are no longer simply selling products to people. Instead, they are inviting consumers to become part of their product mission. Additionally, Pal expects to see significant changes in the way the world operates as Web3 continues to evolve.
As well, we've seen so many developments happening all at the same time using this NFT technology. It's fascinating to see. This applications layer, the consumer layer, the broad layer, and it's still pretty early days. But I think it's much bigger than all of that too. I think Web3 is an incredibly powerful business model. It's probably the most powerful business model I've ever seen. And that goes back to network effects. So if you remember, I've talked a lot about the network effects, Metcalfe's law of owning cryptocurrencies. Why does it work so much? Because it's behavioral economics 101. If you have incentivization to help promote something, you will do so. And if the better it goes, the more you get, then even better. So, if you're a salesman, you get paid to sell something, a car, but you don't get paid the upside of Tesla over time growing as a company. You have to be a shareholder for that. So with Facebook, the shareholders got rich because they developed an incredibly important network, one of the biggest networks on Earth. So that meta network is Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. Okay. So we got to use the utility of these platforms. We can connect with friends and do all the things that we want to on their network. We can advertise our businesses. We can do all sorts, communicate with everybody. Okay, great. And then they monetized us with advertising. So they took the lion's share of the revenue and the shareholders got rich and we didn't. Okay, that's fine. It's a business. They can do what they want. But this new model, imagine if everybody who had gone onto Facebook in the early days or into WhatsApp got given shares. Then imagine how fast the adoption would have been and how broad it would have been and what it would have meant. The Web3 business model now means that your customers are part owners of your business in a certain respect. It's not an ownership like a share, but it's a participation of the network, and they get utility for doing that. So that means you now have a direct connection with your customer, much like the music artist or the visual artist has by selling NFTs. They now have a direct connection with their audience, and therefore they can capture more of a lion's share of the revenues without paying third parties, be it Ticketmaster or being Live Nation, or be it Google or Facebook or advertising agencies or high frequency traders in the advertising markets and all of these other people that take about 80% of the economics.
That concludes our discussion for today. We'd love to hear your thoughts on where you think NFTs will go in the future, as well as your opinion on investing in NFTs. Please feel free to share your views in the comments section below. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with the latest videos and news. See you next time.